What is going on, everyone? AJ Gaming here, and welcome back to another squad builder on this channel. Now, today's squad builder is a bit different to other ones that you may have seen, as I am going to be making my fantasy football team for the Premier League on the Premier League official site. We've got to select 15 players, 2 goalkeepers, 5 defenders, 5 midfielders, and 3 forwards, with a budget of 100 million from the player pools from 496 players, all up, as you can see there on the right, from the Barclays Premier League. Now, today the Barclays Premier League kicks off. Our first game is Hull City against Leicester. Obviously, I'm hoping for a Watford win against Southampton later on in the day. We're going to jump straight into this, and I'm going to start with my starting 11. I think I'm going to play a 3-4-3 formation, so I'll first pick 1 goalkeeper, 3 defenders, 4 midfielders, and 3 forwards, and then I'll select my other 4 substitutes. So in goal, our first choice goalkeeper for this season is going to be David De Gea, the Man United goalkeeper. Hopefully Man United will have, well, hopefully in my case, I'm not hoping that they actually have a good season, but they've got some incredible players, and De Gea should keep plenty of clean sheets for me this season if all goes to plan. We'll add him to the team as our number 1 goalkeeper. Now in the defence is a bit more of a challenging premise. We're going to go with Hector Bellerin, one of 2 most expensive defenders, with Alderweireld from Tottenham. We'll take him and put him in the squad as well. And then next up we have got Van Dijk, who we are going to put in, if I can find him. I have to go to the next page to find him. Virgil van Dijk for 5.5 million there for Southampton. Should have a solid season. Did well last year as well, getting some decent points. We'll add him to the team, and our final defender in our back 3 is right next to Van Dijk, and that is going to be Kyle Walker, one of the key standout players from a poor performance from England in the Euros. Another player worth £5.5 million added to the squad. So we spent just over 20 million, 23 million to be exact, on our first 4 players, and we'll move on to our 4 midfielders now. Now our first midfielder is going to be the player of the year from last season, and it's going to be Riyad Mahrez. I don't think Leicester will be able to win the league this season and make a massive upset as they did last season, but I still think Mahrez is going to have a decent season. At 9.5 million, I'm definitely willing to pay that. Next up, we have got another player that had a great season last season despite his injuries, Dimitri Payet, the West Ham man. 9.5 million as well, probably about right for a player of his kind of caliber. Did well for France in the Euros, especially that opening match goal at the end to win the first game of the Euros. He's going to be another one added to the team. Our 4th midfielder is someone who didn't perform as well as he could have done last year, and he plays for Chelsea and goes by the name of Cesc Fabregas. Now, a lot of people, well, what's his percentage? 7.5 people there have picked him in their team, but I'm going to add to that percentage and select Cesc Fabregas at £7.5 million to my starting 11. And my final starting 11 midfielder also comes from Chelsea, and that is going to be the Brazilian winger Willian, also costing 7.5 million. And under Conte, I see them doing quite well this season. And now we'll move on to the forwards. I'm going to be using all 3 forwards in this starting 11. And first up, we've got someone who didn't quite win the Golden Boot for last season, but he is one that I think will stand out for this season. And again, Jamie Vardy, after his breakthrough season last year, and £10 million for him, slightly more expensive than Mahrez, maybe slightly overpriced, but I'm willing to pay the extra couple of million to get him into my team. And my second striker is one of my Watford players, and that is going to be Odion Ighalo, who had a great season, first half of the season for us. Kind of went a bit off the pace in the second half, but luckily Deeney got some goals for us to in the second half of the season to cement our place in the league. Hopefully we can stay up again this season. And my final striker is probably someone that not many people have selected, 3.7% there, but I feel like Sunderland are going to have a decent season this year now under new management of David Moyes. Jermaine Defoe, if you supply him, he will definitely get you some goals, and that is what I'm going with here. 7 million for Defoe, maybe slightly overpriced, but strikers are always going to cost more for you. And that leaves us with £18.5 million left to spend on our 4 substitutes: a goalkeeper, 2 defenders, and a midfielder. So our goalkeeper choice, and we're going to spend as little as possible, 4.5 we're going to have to spend on this guy. And it was kind of between Victor Valdez and Steve Mandanda, 2 new signings for their respective clubs. And what we're going to go with is Steve Mandanda, the new signing for Crystal Palace. I think that he'll be the first choice goalkeeper for Crystal Palace. If he doesn't end up being first choice, I may end up swapping him out if Valdez is playing a lot more than him. But that won't matter as long as De Gea keeps fit and is playing every game. Now, our 2 defensive players come in the form of 2 players for £4.5 million. I think we'll have to go on to the next page. It's another Sunderland player actually, and he goes by the name of Djilobodji, the player who signed from Chelsea and has now moved to Sunderland. 0.3%. Not many people have selected this guy, but I'm selecting him as a backup, as I feel like he'll play for Sunderland in the middle of that defence to strengthen up their defence. And our final defender is, I'm going to go with another Watford player. Whether to go with Holebas or Neom is the question. I mean, Holebas or Britos even. Holebas is a lot more attacking, could get some more points. So I think, yeah, we'll go with Holebas. Didn't really play much last season because Ake had an incredible season, but now that Ake has moved on and is now out on loan at Bournemouth, we'll give Holebas a try in that left back position. And our final player of this team, we've got 5 million left, and we're going to spend every last penny of this of the budget to fill this team. And I have found Matic for £5 million. Now, he didn't have a great season last year, but he is going to be one that I am going to put in the team. Only chosen by 2.4% of players in this game, but we're going to pick him as the final member of this team. Spend a whole 100 million, so our team consists of the goalkeepers De Gea and Mandanda. In defence we've got Bellerin, Van Dijk, Walker, Djilobodji and Holebas. In midfield we've got Mahrez, Payet, Fabregas, Willian and Matic. And Vardy, Ighalo and Defoe end up the team with the up front as the strikers. So I've now put the team into the starting 11. There you can see our starting 11. De Gea in goal, Bellerin, Van Dijk and Walker in defence. Mahrez, Payet, Fabregas, Willian, Defoe, Vardy, Ighalo as our starting 11. And on the bench we've got Mandanda, Holebas, Matic and Djilobodji. As our captain, I think I'm going to leave it as Vardy, as what they've done at the minute. And it's between Mahrez and Payet for who our vice captain is for if Vardy doesn't play. I'm going to put Payet as the vice captain there. And that is our team. So if you want to join my league and see how you guys can do against me, there is the name of the league and the code is right there if you want to join the league. 293-8920-661857, and the name is just my YouTube channel name with YT at the end, and that is the league. And I have made my kit there, as you can see, with the colours of my logo, red and yellow orange, and then white shorts with red stripes. So that concludes this episode of my Fantasy Premier League team. If you have enjoyed, make sure to smash the like button. Let me know what your guys' team is going to be for this, or if you've already made it. Make sure to join my league so so we can battle it out for this season and see who does the best overall in this league. But that is going to be it for today's video, guys. Subscribe for more content on the channel in the coming weeks, and I'll catch you guys later.